Hello students, welcome to Unacademy. Let's crack management exams English. Okay, so Unacademy is your one-stop solution to crack CAT exam with India's largest learning platform, Unacademy. Is that clear? Now that said, in today's session, we'll be looking, this is a strategic video, we'll be looking at importance of reasoning in the context of CAT. Importance of reasoning in the context of CAT exam. Okay. Before getting there, let me very quickly introduce myself. I am Arjun Prasad, an engineer with 12 plus years of teaching experience, having trained more than 6,000 CAT aspirants in the fields of quantitative aptitude, data interpretation, data sufficiency, and logical reasoning, as well as have trained them to crack their personal interviews. I've trained more than 4,000 students to crack the campus recruitment exams. Yeah. So before I get started with the content, let me tell you, during the course of the session, if you like my session, please do click on like, do share this channel, and all the videos in this channel, do share them with your friends who are aspirants of CAT exam, and do subscribe to this particular channel. And while subscribing, do not forget to use the code APUS, because when you use the code APUS, you will get a 10% discount on your subscription fee. Is that clear? Also, at any point of time, you can always get in touch with me on my Telegram, which is https:/t.me/@ my user ID, which is Arjun Prasad. You can always get in touch with me. Okay. Now that said, let us get started and let us continue with today's topic, which is importance of reasoning in the context of CAT. It so happened that I had to learn this a hard way. In the year 2005, in one of the personal interviews, I was asked the question, all of a sudden out of the blue, for how long have you used the word define? And this is like you are taken off the guard suddenly, right? So even I was, stumbled, and I was also looking for what type of a question is this. And then there was, after an awkward silence, there was a prompting done by the interviewer. At least 10 years? I said half-hearted yes. Because the tone was in such a way that it came out as a half-hearted yes. Immediately there was another prompting done. At least 5 years? And I said yes, definitely I've used it for 5 years. This time with a lot more confidence, I said. Then came the question, define definition. And I was taken back. And after the interview, when I looked at the Universal Dictionary of English, I figured out that a true, tested, and valid statement which is used for further development of subject matter is called as definition. Now, that answer is not important, nor the meaning of the definition. But please understand, what was the reason behind asking this question? Was it to check whether the candidate has by-hearted the dictionary? No, definitely not. Because if that was the intention, the first question could have been, what is the meaning of definition? But that was not. Look at the sequence of the question. For how long have you used the word define? And then a prompting. And after an acknowledgement that I have used it for 5 years, then the question came, define definition. So basically, the interviewer was trying to test how much of reasoning has the candidate done. Because if you have used something for 5 years and without knowing what it actually means, then it is a very subtle way of conveying a message by the interviewer to me that if after the interview we do not select you, then don't come and question us. Rather, we have already given you the reason in a very subtle way. I have made you understand where you actually stand. Because if you have used something for 5 years without understanding what it means, then you better understand where you stand. Is that clear? And that was an eye opener. And let me tell you, after that, reasoning is one part where it does not become a habit. There are things which become habit if you continuously do it for about 21 days. But there are certain traits which never become habits. And one such trait is reasoning. If you have to do it always in a conscious state of mind. There is no way that it becomes a habit and you say that, okay, in a subconscious state of mind I will. No, that will never happen. Because in a very conscious state of mind you will have to ask the question why, or what does this mean, what does this mean, and then you will understand. And you should never give up until you get the final answer. Is that clear? And more so in CAT. Why? Because if you observe, there are many people who say that uh, why is CAT different? Why don't they go with the spring? Please understand that CAT is a trendsetter. CAT exam is a trendsetter. It is not a follower of the first thing. Okay? And why reasoning is important and how can I get the importance of reasoning? Just look at this. Even after cracking CAT exam and having obtained the PGDPM, there are many people who give CAT exam year over year, even after they have cracked it, even after they have written, even after cracking it, even after undergoing the entire management course, even after that they give. I have not heard of any person giving an exam other than CAT after cracking the exam. The only exam that I have heard people giving it every year on year, is CAT. Okay. There, some people get a high by their different ways, and there are a set of people who get their high by giving CAT exam. And I'm not just telling it without any data, as you can see over here. So this is an article that was published and it is available in Economic Times. How does Sri Cement MD stay alert by playing? How does Sri Cement MD stay alert even to this day at this age? Now, if you just go on and view that particular article, you will understand that he is staying alert with the help of playing volleyball and giving CAT exam year over. Why? Because CAT is one such exam which is always up with the trend, and whatever is needed in the world, they adapt the syllabus accordingly. And even the exams that are conducted, you may think that, okay, what is that? They're only conducting exam by using the same syllabus. Quantitative aptitude only up to 10th standard mathematics, and this has not changed, it will not change. But the type of questions that appear in the CAT exam, they are changing year over year. And I will come to it in a couple of slides. And another query that I always get is, why is CAT a non-adaptive test when all the international exams are adaptive in nature? What do I mean by adaptive in nature? So basically, if you look at exams like GMAT or GRE, the very first question that you attempt, if the answer is correct, then the next question that you get will be with a higher weightage, and you answer that correctly, the next will be of a higher weightage, and so on and so forth, until up to a point where you commit a mistake. The moment you commit a mistake, the next question will be easier and it will have a lesser weightage, right? So basically, they are trying to judge your knowledge. Only your knowledge is being tested over there. But your decision making capability is not being tested. Your return, your ability to figure out the return on investment is not trying to be figured out over there in such an exam. Whereas when you look at CAT exam, please be aware of this. There will be questions which are there in the competitive exam which will be implanted with the rationale that you skip those questions. It is not like a graduation exam wherein you are expected to attempt and get 100% marks. No. This is an exam where they try to figure out if your return on investment and decision making capability are really good. So they implant a question. So to make it a little bit more clearer, let us say they give a question. To solve that question, you require about 2 minutes. There is another question that can be solved in about 40 seconds. It is always worthwhile, and both the questions have the same amount of marks. So it is always worthwhile to choose the 40-second question rather than selecting the question which requires 2 minutes at your end, isn't it? So decision making is being tested, and that is why intentionally CAT is not adaptive in nature. Okay? Because it tests the decision making capability and not just the problem solving skill. And as I already stated, CAT exam is a trendsetter for many other management entrance exams. And please understand, over a period of time, there has always been a paradigm shift. There has been a paradigm shift in the way the CAT exam is being conducted. Initially, CAT exam was an exam that was conducted to select candidates for the topmost institutes, basically all the IIMs. However, of late, it is treated as an exam which is conducted to eliminate the crowd, not to select the people. Is that clear? Okay. And if I give you an analogy question, usually competitive exams, problem solving is what is being tested. Whereas in CAT, what is it that's being tested? What is tested in CAT? Your reasoning skill is what is being tested. In one word, if I have to say, it is reasoning which is being tested as far as CAT exam is concerned. Is that clear? And you look at it, you will understand that nowadays, every question in CAT has a reason. I have a couple of questions over here, and then probably I know another couple of questions which I may be able to insert a slide and probably get you that question as well, or I will just write it on a particular slide and just give it. So this is one such question, wherein the question is 3 is to 36 as to 5 is to what? Now, you may be thinking, what is so great about it? 3 12 times 36, 5 12 times 60, therefore I happily mark my answer as none of these. But if you do that, you are wasting your chance. Why? Because that is a wrong answer. How do we say? The other set of people may still go ahead and mark none of these by thinking that, okay, he is fiddling around with the digits 1, 0 and 5. This is like 3 followed by 2 times of 3, which is 6. So therefore, it should have been 5 followed by 2 times of 5. Therefore, it should have been 510. 510 is not there. Therefore, I mark. Even those people, they have committed 2 crimes. One, they would have spent a lot of time, and the second, got wrong answer. If you think through more deep, you will understand that 3 squared plus 3 cubed is 36. Similarly, 5 squared plus 5 cubed is 150. Therefore, the correct answer, my friends, is answer option C. Because 5 squared plus 5 cubed, 5 squared plus 5 cubed is 150. Therefore, the correct answer is answer option C. Is that clear? Now, before I move on to the next question, let me just write down the question just for the sake of completeness. Another question. which has appeared in CAT exam. Just I came across that question, so when I remember, let me just write it. First 15, just writing that question. First 15 natural numbers are written in a sequence such that sum of every consecutive pair of numbers such that sum of every consecutive pair of numbers results in a perfect square or is a perfect. What are the numbers at the ends of this sequence? Now please understand, when he asks the question, what are the numbers at the ends of this sequence? Immediately it must strike you that the sequence is not important. Only the numbers at the ends of the sequence are what is important to me. Right? Now, why has he asked this question? And how can I solve this? This can be solved if we actually use, this is a question in a quantitative aptitude section, but it can be answered by using logic. That's why I said every question has a reason and every question requires you to think through and reason out the question. So when I say that there are 15 natural numbers written in the sequence and I need only the numbers at the end, leaving out the numbers at the end, in between I have 13 numbers, right? For each of these 13 numbers, there should be two other numbers within the range which are associated with the number in such a way that when that number is added to the number that is picked up, it must result in a perfect square. Whereas for the numbers at the end, they should have only one other number in the range which is associated with the number such that when added to the number results in a perfect square, isn't it? Because numbers in between, one to the left, one to the right, whereas numbers at the end, only one number, either to the right or to the left. Got it? Now just start thinking. If you pick up 1, if you take the number 1, 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 8 is 9. So for 1, I got 2 numbers within the range. Take up 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. 2 plus 14 is 16. Got 2 numbers for 2. Take up 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 6 is 9. Got the 2 numbers for 3. 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 12 is 16. Got 2 numbers for 4. Take up 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 5 plus 11 is 16. Got the 2 numbers for 5. Take up 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 6 plus 10, 16. Got the 2 numbers for 6. Take up 7. 7 plus 2, 9. 7 plus 9, 16. Got the 2 numbers for 7. Take up 8. 8 plus 1, 9. Next what? 8 plus 8 I cannot write because I have only one 8. Beyond that, I will have to write 8 plus 17. 17 is outside of the range because I am dealing with only 15 natural numbers. That means for 8, I have only one number within the range, which when added to 8 results in a perfect square. Therefore, at one end, it has to be 8 only. And how about 9? 9 plus how much is 16? 9 plus 7, 16. Beyond that, 9 plus 16 is 25. 16 is outside the range. Therefore, 9 has to be at the other end. Now, beyond the 9, if you just look at it, take 10 for example. 10 plus 6 is 16, and 10 plus 15, 25. 11 plus 5, 16. 11 plus 14, 25. 12 plus 4, 16. 12 plus 13, 25. 13 plus 3, 16. 13 plus 12, 25. 14 plus 2, 16. 14 plus 11, 25. 15 plus 1, 16. 15 plus 10, 25. Therefore, the numbers at the ends have to be 8 and 9. Without writing the sequence, we got this. And beyond this, if you want, you can actually go through and think about it and write the sequence. Now, if I start thinking about it and if I write the sequence, just for your completeness, if you think that, okay, I need to know the sequence, I will write that. It's not going to be that very difficult. 8 plus 1, 9, right? 1 plus 15, 16. 15 plus 10, 25. 10 plus 6, 16. 6 plus 3, 9. 3 plus 13, 16. 13 plus 12, 25. 12 plus 4, 16. 4 plus 5, 9. 5 plus 4, 5 plus 11, 16. 11 plus 5 is 16. 11 plus 5 is 16. 11 plus 14 is 25. 14 plus 2 is 16. 14 plus 11 is already done. 2 plus 7 is 9. 7 plus 9 is 16. And this, my friends, is the sequence. It starts with 8, ends with 9, and the sequence is as follows. And we have all the 15 numbers. Look at it without repetition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Therefore, the numbers at the ends are 8 and 9. This appeared in the quantitative aptitude section. Is this a quantitative aptitude question or a logical reasoning? It is logical reasoning question. But it comes under quantitative aptitude. That is why I say, in CAT, reasoning is extremely important, and every question, not just one, every question has a reason and requires you to reason out. Is that clear? And if you go by it, you have, I can give you another example over here, another question I can just give you. So he says, this person was asked to write all the possible 2-digit numbers where if one of the digits is even, the other is prime, one of the digits is prime, the other is even, and given this as the answer option. Just consider, how many prime digits do I have? I have 4 prime digits. Which are they? 2, 3, 5, 7. What are the even digits that I have? I have 5 even digits. What are they? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? Now, if you just consider prime followed by even, then it will be 4 times 5, which would be 20 such numbers. Even followed by prime, it would be only 4, because it cannot start with 0. 4 times, which is 16. The total would be 36. And if you mark that, that would be wrong. Why? Because you have considered, we know that 2 is the only even prime. So I have considered 22 and 22 both places. So I cannot consider it. Then what will you do? You will go ahead and you will mark the answer as 35. Even that, my friends, is going to be wrong. Why? Because, look at this. If one of the digits, and look at this, if one of the digits is prime, the other has to be even. Are there any digits which are neither even nor prime? Yes, I have 2 digits which are neither even nor prime. They are 1 and 9. So nothing stops the person from writing 11, 19, 91 and 99. Therefore, the correct answer will be 35 plus 4, which is 39. Getting it? Is that clear? Again, just to tell the importance of reasoning in CAT exam, for that, just look at the evolution of CAT exam. In phase 1, that is 70s all the way till probably early 90s. From 70s all the way till early 90s, the focus was on speed. How do I say that the focus was on speed? By looking at the structure of the paper. Approximately 200 questions were there, with the exam duration being 1.5 hours, 90 minutes, 200 questions, and no negative marking. This was the nature at large. Therefore, I can very easily say that the focus was on speed and nothing else. No negative marking. Turn it around to beginning of 90s and mid 90s all the way till the beginning of 2000s. The focus, in addition to speed, was on accuracy, because correctness was much more important. How do I say that? Because they introduced the negative marking in the beginning of 90s. And from there, from probably early 2000s all the way till now, year over year, more and more focus on reasoning. How do I say that? Look at the structure. There is an increase in the exam duration. Earlier 90 minutes, now you have 3 hours. They have doubled the duration. Earlier 200 questions, now only 100 questions. So they have decreased the number of, they have reduced the number of questions by half. They have increased the amount of time by 2 times, right? They have made the amount of time as 2 times. And on top of it, they have allowed the use of on-screen calculator, which clearly means that it is not just calculation orientedness that is being tested. Rather, the focus is more and more on reasoning. Day by day, it is more on reasoning. Is that clear? Okay. So please understand, guys, that this entire CAT exam is all about reasoning. The entire exam is about reasoning. Is that clear? Now, when you go by that thought, there are people who have asked me certain questions, and I have, after reasoning out, I have come up with some answers. So that is why I am giving you these examples, to just show reasoning, how it can actually help you figure out the answers for questions that come up. One of the questions that came up from the students to me over the period of a decade is a common question, where they say that, sir, if the input is good, it is by and large that the output will always be good. So, what is so, why do IIMs feel so proud about themselves when every person that they select is a 99 percentiler? Greatness must rather lie in bringing the best out of ordinary people. So we can say that the institute is good if they've taken a 70 percentiler and bring out a 90 percentiler from him. Right? Now, to all those people, I just ask them to go and try teaching subtraction to a 5 to 6-year-old kid. Just try teaching subtraction. It could be a neighbor, or a relative, or whoever. Just catch hold of a 5 to 6-year-old kid and try teaching subtraction. You will understand why IIMs take only 99 percentiles, or beyond 90, at least beyond 95 percentile. The reason is, when a professor at IIM speaks something, the professor needs a crowd who is able to understand what he is teaching. He cannot come down to a level of a 70 percentiler and teach. I am not belittling anyone, but it is beyond the capability of a person whose thinking is at a particular frequency to come down to that particular level and start teaching. Okay, that's why I said try teaching subtraction, because then you will understand that, out of frustration you'll say, why can't you kid, why can't you even understand the simple thing? It is simple to you, but it is not simple to the kid. The reason is we are not able to get down to that level and teach. The same thing applies even to IIM professors, and that is precisely the reason that they take the crowd which is able to who the crowd must be able to understand what this is. That is the reason that they pick up a type of crowd. And another question to you in general: how much time do you think an IIM professor typically takes to frame a question that might appear in the CAT exam? Some of you may think maybe few seconds. No, please understand, with my interaction with IIM professors, I know that they spend at least about 10 hours to form one question that might appear. And believe you me, 10 hours of usage of that brain is priceless. Okay? Because it is seasoned, right? So basically, every question has a reason behind it, and that is precisely the reason that it is there in that exam. Now you might be thinking that what is so great? There is a question which says that dog ran out of the house at some time, and owner starts chasing the dog after some time. When will the owner catch hold of the dog? You may be thinking, for all I know, I want to become a good manager. Why should I solve this question? I am not going to run behind dogs. But please understand that one question is a question that will make or break your career. Why? Because it is all about time, distance, and speed. Because as a manager, you will be asked to give guidance. Suppose you are managing a particular project, you may be asked to give a guidance 3 months down the line, a quarter down the line, where will the project be? If you are managing a program, where will the program be? If you are managing the budget, if you are managing the finance, somebody may come and ask, what will the budget be looking like? What is the guidance that you give? What do you think would be the profitability of the company in the next quarter? Right? So what does it mean? It means that you know where you are. You know where you need to be because you have given the guidance. You know the amount of time that is there between now and the time wherein which you need to achieve. What is it that you have to calculate? The speed at which you need to run. So what does it translate to? It just translates to a simple speed, distance traveled, and time taken question. Right? Just only one difference is over here we are going to deal with only three things: speed, distance traveled, and time taken. Over there you will be dealing with 300 entities, because you need to consider fixed cost, variable cost, furniture cost, facility cost, operations cost. You need to take care of different costings, right? So in essence, it is only speed, distance traveled, and time taken. Why go that far? Even preparing for your own exam is also a speed, distance traveled, and time taken. You know where you are, you know what you need to achieve, you know the amount of time. What do? You work your way backwards. From the date of exam, you start your way and work your way backwards when you are preparing the timetable, isn't it? Why do I do that? Because it has to fit in. That means I need to pace accordingly such that I am able to cover all these topics within this much amount of time. So what does it translate to? It translates to the same old concept of speed, distance, travel, time taken. Is that clear? And another question that I have asked over here: how much time do you get to sleep in a day at a good B school? Now, if you have not got an answer to this, go and talk to people who have studied at IIMs or who are studying at IIMs or other good B schools in India. You will get the answer that, and mark my words, guys, anything beyond 2 hours per day, if you get to sleep for more than 2 hours in a day, consider that day to be the happiest day of your life. And I tell this with conviction. And the 2 hours is the upper bound. Believe you me, it is the upper bound. The maximum that you get to sleep in a day will be only 2 hours. Don't think that it is only the present Prime Minister of India or the first Prime Minister of India who are the people who are getting to sleep only for 1 hour or 1.5 hours or 2 hours a day. Every person who has undergone the grill at a good B school like IIMs in India would have undergone that grill. And when you do that for 2 years, it by natural it becomes a habit. And I can give you another pointer. There was an interview where the interviewer was questioning Mrs. Indra Nui, who is the chairman of PepsiCo. The question that was posed is, Mrs. Nui, how do you balance the act? Because you need to play the role of mother, you need to play the role of sister, you need to play the role of daughter-in-law, you need to play the role of wife, and you need to play the role of chairman. How on earth are you able to do justice to all of these? And she immediately, with wittiness, she gave the answer. I am grateful to IIM Calcutta. And because the interviewer was not able to understand what she stated, he probed her further and asked, could you elaborate and could you please explain? And the answer that she gave was that, for 2 years continuously, starting from day one till the end, if a person gets to sleep only for 2 hours a day, then beyond that, when you come out of the B school, because it has become a habit, you will be craving for work. And that is precisely the reason that for most of the people who are working, their managers appear to be like devils. Why? Because those people would have undergone this grill and they understand and they think that everyone has to undergo the same amount of grill. And because of this gap in understanding, the one side thinks that the other side is not efficient. Is that clear? Okay. So, and if you may ask the question, sir, there should be a logic, given that management is all about logic. There should be a logic behind why only 2 hours. I'll give you the good part, not only the bad part. Let me give you the good part. In your undergrad course, in your graduation course, per semester you may be studying about 8 subjects, including the labs, practicals, case studies, whatever, depending on the stream. Unlike that, in your B school days, per semester you will only have to study only 4 subjects, and one of those subjects could be just watching a movie. Wonderful, right? Just watching a movie. How difficult is it? But the point will be that you will have to watch the movie 100 times. The same movie you will have to watch 100 times. Now you may be thinking, why is it so? I am not supposed to become mad. But yeah, why? Because after that you will have to bring out what all management techniques have actually been given out through that particular movie, right? So if you look at all of those things, you will understand that yeah, it's all about reasoning. And coming back to the question, where per semester you are supposed to study only 4 subjects. Now I have reduced the number of subjects by half and I have reduced the sleep by 3/4. The only point that justifies is at a good B school, for a professor, it is his subject is the only subject that you are studying. A professor does not care about what else you have got to do in life. Got it? And for lack of better word, the relationship between a professor and a student at a good B school is nothing short of that between a master and a slave. If you are thinking entry to a good B school is like entering heaven, you are mistaken, guys. The entry gate to a B school is an entry gate to hell. I am not discouraging anyone. But the exit gate of B school, a successful exit gate of B school, is an entry to heaven. And you can enter heaven only after passing through hell, and there is no shortcut over there. Okay? Now, If you are thinking that, all these numbers are the numbers that are being cooked up by me, I need to improve my credibility. So I am improving my credibility by recommending a book from where I have actually got this data. Go and read this book, Snapshot from Hell, written by Peter Robinson, and the punchline is the making of an MBA. You will understand what it takes to be a good MBA grad. Okay? It's all about reasoning, guys. Never ever underestimate the capacity of reasoning and what it can do for you. Is that clear? Last but not the least, try to learn from non-traditional sources like cart sellers, people who milk the cow, flower vendors, right? People who work as coolies. You talk to them, you will understand that, we talk so much about risk management, right? We talk about risk management, and if you are managing the project, that will be like, a separate entity which has to be given focus on, right? We do FMEA analysis, we do the risk analysis, all of this. But let me tell you, whatever we do is not at all, we are not taking any risk at all over there compared to a person who is selling tomatoes on the cart. Because if he is not able to sell the tomatoes, it's a perishable good. It will go waste, and he will not be able to earn the money. He will not be able to repay the loan that he has taken. On the other hand, if he is, let us say, while selling, some of the tomatoes may fall down from the cart, right? So all of that risk is the risk that that person is taking, and he is managing that one. So if you want to do risk analysis, and if you want to do a study of how to manage risk, what better place than talking to a person who is selling tomatoes on the cart, right? So always have an eye to learn from non-traditional sources and stay hungry for knowledge. If you stay hungry, you would not need an educator or a trainer anymore. Is that clear? That said, I hope you enjoyed this session. If you like this session, please do subscribe to Unacademy. While subscribing, do not forget to use the code APUS. Okay? What you may ask, what are the benefits if I give me the reason why I need to subscribe? Because it's all about reasoning, right? You may ask, what is the reason? Why should I subscribe? If you subscribe, following are the benefits that you get. You get access to the daily live classes where you can chat with your educator. You can ask your doubts real time, get them cleared, just like in a classroom. You can attend the live tests and quizzes, and just one subscription will give you unlimited access to all the educators on the platform. You can learn from the likes of B. Arun Sharma. Okay, you can attend all the live and batch courses. You can learn anytime, anywhere, at a schedule that works for you. As I said, you can answer the live polls, you can get your doubts cleared. And let me tell you, irrespective of that, you can always reach out to me in case you have any doubt. You can get that clarified from me. You can reach out to me at https://t.me/@Arjun R. Prasad. And you will get, when you subscribe, you will get a detailed report for every test that you attempt, so that you can do your own SWOT analysis and figure out how you can improve before giving the next test. You will have access to all the learning material and the PDFs, and nothing in the world comes for free. Given that you are management students, you would understand that nothing comes for free. However, over here, things come at an extremely reasonable fee. the subscription fee is just about 788 rupees per month if you go in for a 24-month subscription, and this is after a discount of 10%. So please do use the code APUS. The code, my friends, the code to be used is APUS. Now you may ask, sir, I am planning to give CAT exam this year. Okay, when will the personal interviews be there? When will the GD sessions take place? Probably somewhere in Jan Feb, kind of a time frame. So you may be thinking that, sir, only 12-month subscription enough. Why should I go in for a 24-month subscription? Now just look at it. For a 12-month subscription in totality, you will be paying 15,750. This is where you need to have an eye for the detail. For 12-month subscription, you will pay 15,750. If you just after that, let us say you like some video or some presentation, and you like to take a subscription for one more month. So you will pay another 3,000. How much have you paid? You have paid 18,900, and you got the access for how many months? You got the access for 13. Instead, if you had paid 18,900 at the very beginning, you would have got the access for 24 months. Why settle for 13-month subscription when you can get the subscription for 24 months? Isn't it? So please use your own judgment, and all of these numbers are the numbers after a discount of 10%, and in order to get the discount of 10%, you need to use a code. Please use the code APUS, Arjun Prasad Unacademy subscribe. APUS is the code. Is that clear? Okay. Hope you enjoyed the session. Without forgetting, please do subscribe and use the code APUS. Okay. With that thought, I'll be signing off now. Probably in about another 10 minutes, I'll be starting my next session, which will be on data sufficiency. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, guys.